Today, for the first video, I'm going to start off by showing you guys what I do for my everyday makeup routine. We're going to start out by putting on some moisturizer. This is the Proteiny Peptide Cream. It's by Drunk Elephant, and Sephora gave me a little sample size of this when I went in there a couple weeks ago, and I have been using this every day since. This is really a great moisturizer, and especially if you really have dry skin. Today for primer, we're gonna go in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, and every time I use this I think of Jeffree Star because he swears by this product, and honestly I do too. It's so good. It's literally so good. It's expensive, but if you can splurge on this, I think you should, because it's just so good and it smells so good. Focusing most of the foundation, and you may think, wow, this girl's put on a lot, but I'm really not. I'm having to scrape it out of the bottle because there's no pump. But by the way, this is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation, and it looks like it's been beaten up because it has. But this is the color, or the shade, 710. By the way, I'm using the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. It's super coverage. It is really good coverage, and it's really hydrating too. For setting powder, now that I have all that blended out, we're gonna use the Hourglass, what is this called? Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This is great setting powder. There's a lot of good setting powders out there, but this one is the one that works for me the best. Set the rest of my face with this Bare Minerals Bare Pro. It's like a compact powder or a compact foundation. Girl, I've had this compact for years. You can tell how long I've had it because look at it. But it's just such a, like, just use any compact powder that you have. Get a big fluffy brush like this. This is the Jaclyn Hill set. My boyfriend got it for me for Christmas. Use any face powder you have, and that's literally all that I do. I usually don't set my face with a translucent setting powder or a loose setting powder, just because like it's too dang messy, and usually I get way too much powder. Going on to bronzer, I'm gonna use my bronzer brush. I just use all the brushes from the Jaclyn Hill set because honestly, if you're gonna get a brush set, get this set. It's the best brushes that I've ever used. Well, I usually only use Morphe brushes, and these are from Morphe. Morphe makes them, but they're so good. And this is such a good bronzer brush. It's the JH02. Using this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer. That's all it says. And I like to work with my bronzer brush up. I know that's kind of weird, like normally people just go straight on their face, but I like to I like to let it diffuse up my face instead of dragging it down. I usually go pretty heavy on the bronzer just because I'm a bronzer bitch. Okay? Mom, don't get mad at me for saying that. Okay, moving on to blush. I'm not a big blush girl. I wear blush every single day. Like, I will not forget blush. But I'm not picky about color. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Gold. Usually, in the winter, my skin is too light for this, so I have to lighten it up. But in the summer, girl, look, you can't even play. That looks so good. Oh my god. One thing that I love to do with highlighters is I'll bring it all the way down to the front of my cheek. So when I'm looking straight on, look, you can see. You can see where the highlighter hits straight on. You don't have to turn your head. I mean, turn your head, of course, it's fine because you catch that light. But you don't have to do is take the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter, and this is in the shade Pearl. It's their white shade. It's the lightest shade that they have. And I'll just take some. It's so soft, and it smells so good. It smells like butter, literally. And I'll just lightly dust that over top. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. It's really good, really cheap. I love the spray, the spritzer on it, and it smells so good. Brows. The most important thing to remember, especially when using eyebrow pencils, is to keep a light hand. It's so hard not to just go in there and draw on some freaking bomb ass brows, but they end up looking so unnatural when you do that. So keep a light hand. Maybe you don't want to look natural, and that's okay, but for me personally, for an everyday look, I like to keep the brows as natural, close to natural as possible. I don't really have a good brow shape. I never have. And especially not right now, because I went and got my eyebrows waxed from a nail salon, and she literally did it so fast it was over before I knew it. And I really think she just didn't care about my brows, because she was so rushed getting out. And then my eyebrows came out looking like adopted brother and sister, or sister and sister. They weren't even related blood. They were completely different shapes. And I was like, oh my god. Work on the eyes. You're running out the door, just put a shimmer on your lid, or use your bronzer and put it in the crease and walk out the door. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna set that with just some of this powder. You can use that same Bare Minerals powder that we used from earlier, or whatever powder that you have. I like to set my concealer. Sometimes I don't, if it's like a really simple make it look, but usually I like to. And this is the palette that I use every single day. It's the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Anastasia. Some people say Anastasia. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I don't care either. Start out by using a large blending brush. This is the M504, and I recommend this brush. We're gonna go in with Golden Ochre. Golden Ochre, I think, is this shade. It's this shade right here, but it's spelled O-C-H-R-E. I think that's ochre. If it's concentrate that really high up in the crease. This is our lightest shade, and you could call this a transition shade. But it's just gonna be our kind of borderline for how far up we want to bring our eyeshadow. And we're going to a slightly smaller brush. So this is the M504 and this is the M505. So it's slightly smaller. We're going to go in with Raw Sienna right here. Whoop. Raw Sienna. And I just coat the brush on both sides, tap it off. And then we're going to go a little bit lower, mainly right in the crease area. So you can see where my crease is. Or just keeping the brush there. I'm going to take Primavera, which is the golden shimmer shade right here. Look how pretty it is. Ugh. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid. I'm just putting it on with my finger. Who cares? Sorry, my mom called me and I'm recording this on my phone. So I've just put L'Oreal Lash Paradise on my eyelashes and I realized that I didn't do anything on the lower part of my eye. Because I'm crazy. Okay, so what we're going to do is just go in with those two colors, the raw sienna and golden ochre. This is my OG mascara. I don't use any other mascara. I've been trying to venture out into new mascaras, but they're not as good as this. They're not. Usually the lip that I use every single day is Stripped by Anastasia Beverly Hills, so I'm gonna It's like the worst makeup application ever. Okay. Girl, don't try to clock me, girl. This is our final look, guys.